Welcome back to another episode of Save It for the Podcast. My name is Sean Barlan.
Pleasure to be here. This is James Charles Ryan.
What's up, guys? My name is Christian Gerald Tolentino.
And we are here to talk about a few things. And we've saved it for the podcast.
Yeah, that we have. And I don't want to cut. I want to cut the bullshit right now. I just want to get down to the topics.
Oh, no.
Now, last time we were talking about 2019. We were getting into 2020. We didn't really talk about what our plans for 2020 were necessarily. We talked about our history. We talked about the decade, but not the new decade, which is what we're living right now. And this is our current character arc.
The future
Why aren't we embracing it?
is now.
2020, boys.
Bring it in. Bring it home. Who wants to share? What are your ambitions? 2020.
Sounds like you want to share.
I do want to share, but I want y'all to have a say too. Come on. All right, I'll share.
All right.
Let me think.
Oh, wait.
Okay, 2020. My goals are just like, I want to be financially secure enough that I can just create what I want. And then I want to create what I want. But it's weird. It's a weird thing because I have time to make the things I want to make. It doesn't mean I have to be waiting until I'm financially secure. And what I'm noticing is it's exactly what we were talking about with the weight of glory, where it's like I'm not manifesting the self I want to be. I'm manifesting a self I don't want to be, and my excuse is it's temporary.
Right. Yeah, the whole concept of...
I don't want to be trading stocks here. I don't.
Yeah, the whole concept
like
of right now I'm kind of like temporarily doing things. Well, we kind of mentioned in the last episode about being filler episodes.
Yeah, it's like a filler.
It's like this
filler.
year's the year to really step forth and like get the plot going, you know what I mean?
That's what's the weird thing about the playing stocks though, is like it's like a gamble. It's like I have a chance to just be financially secure suddenly.
Right, that's your goal, to be
just financially, and then I'll be free to do whatever I want. But it's weird because today was an off day in stocks. I lost money. Like
I thought you meant in general.
Wait, no.
Because I've heard that several times today.
Oh, really?
We can't reveal the day though.
Oh yeah, no, ambiguous day. But today it's just an off day in the market. Went negative. It's not many days, so you can probably guess. So, and we just like I kept trying to refresh and renew and try to work with the stocks I was working with, and they just kept going down, and I just felt bad at the end. I was like shit. But in the end I felt more authentic. Honestly, I felt more like this is where I belong. Like, not. Like, because when you start trading stocks, you do well, it gets a little to your head sometimes. You get pompous. And, like, you know better. Even though you don't. But you got lucky.
But it's through those failures,
It's through the failures that not only do I feel more real and honest, it's like, okay, here's an opportunity where I can actually learn from something. I can actually grow.
Right. And that learning and growth process through failure is, I think, something we should, like, talk about.
No, definitely.
Yeah, definitely my 2019 through failure. And like being able to experience progress like tangibly was because I picked up a hobby. So I started skateboard last year, like in the middle of 2019.
What you're talking about too with the tangible like progress, it's only when you're like manifesting the realest thing to you at the time. Like it's
like
not
in
by...
that moment. What's like the most real thing that you can pursue in that moment?
Exactly. It's like what I'm talking about where I just want to be financially secure so I can do real things. That's me not pursuing the real thing.
Right.
And it's shitty, and it puts me in a weird rut.
Like, you're just settling for the secondary thing that you want to pursue.
And the idea is temporary, but then when I actually attain it, it's like I don't actually get on the grind. I don't feel good, and I don't feel ready to become what I'm trying to be. Christian, what are your thoughts?
I think you can learn a lot from failure. That starts where the real growth is. Yeah. And like for my 2020, I just really want to push out the creativity.
Right.
And like be confident enough not to be afraid to fail.
Right. Which is being transparent. And it's like, I always think of this, I was thinking this earlier, it's like, if you put things on a stage, it's like the person, the critical, like, self-filled, like, like, egotistic, person who, like, thinks they know better isn't the person who goes out on the stage. They stay in their hole.
Yeah, you don't want to betray your conscience.
Right. Well, you don't. Yeah. Oh my, let's not get too overt here.
Never betray your conscience.
Never betray your conscience. But it's like you have to go be vulnerable.
Yeah. And I definitely experienced that through the whole skating process. Yeah, like picking up something completely new. I've never like skated in my life, and I was always into it, playing Tony Hawk growing up and like playing skate. Yeah, exactly, skate, yeah. But yeah, so like trying to learn how to skate, I realized like, okay, like it's not gonna be easy because I have to overcome like a mental block of like, okay, I'm gonna fail, and I like sometimes like I don't want to like fail, like I don't want to keep trying if I'm just gonna fail.
And it's associated with the physical pain of falling.
Yeah, I was like busting my ass, getting injuries. Like I had so many cuts on my shins, and like
And it's
like,
exhausting.
yeah, like falling on my ass, and like I was scared of like hitting my head, but like we wear helmets. I don't wear a helmet.
Oh
Fuck. But like, but like, actually getting through that mental block, it's so like satisfying.
Yeah.
And I realized in like retrospect, I was able to overcome the fear of like failure generally. Not like completely, but like it made me realize like, oh, like it's not that bad.
Right.
So I learned how to drop in last year before the end of 2019, which was like a huge accomplishment of mine, because that was like one of my goals of like all I want to do is just like drop in, like if that's like one thing I can learn on the board, just drop in. And that shit's so scary because like anything can happen. I could literally just get a concussion.
Yeah.
Like
No,
like
it's dangerous.
But it's like through those failures that I realized that those attempts are just steps to like my progression.
Yeah.
And I took that mentality and brought it to something outside of skateboarding and to the artistic career that I want to pursue, and like try to create like what Christian said this year about not being afraid to just pump out content and to create. And so yeah, this year is the year I'm just like, all right, I'm working on a lot of projects right now, like film projects, and I'm trying to like finish them up. Working on a documentary right now.
Nice.
Hopefully it'll be out like
How long?
soon. It's become an episode series.
Okay.
Just because it's like there's way too much to just put in one movie.
That's exhausting.
And I also think episode series are much more consumable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bite-sizable content.
Yeah. So that'll be coming. The first episode hopefully coming out soon.
Yeah. That sounds. I know you're the editor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's miserable.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
But it's good stuff though. I'm working with a team. They're great.
Cool.
Shout out to my team.
That's a good experience, dude.
Yeah.
Put that on your resume.
Yeah. There's
You
a lot
could.
of things that just go over my head about resume.
Same. You literally just volunteer one day and say like, I volunteered.
Yeah.
Put it on your resume.
I think, yeah, creativity is a great avenue to really test the ground on what works through failure and what doesn't. And it's through those experiences that you can really find yourself.
All right, new content though.
Well,
Do you think what? Carry on.
Well, okay. So I'm a art major. JC's graduated with an art degree,
An art degree.
and
Yeah. I'm an artist.
yes, we are all artists.
We're all
Artiste.
Christian, what is your art passion and pursuit?
I want to do film or writing.
Writing?
Yeah, writing or film or cinematography.
Content creator, boys.
Yes, I like editing as well.
Please edit.
Please edit. Yeah, you want
Edit
to edit
for
for
me.
Sean?
Christian's now my editor.
You'll get paid $2
Please edit
Nice.
this, Christian.
per
I got a
40
raise.
minutes. Yeah, used to be $0.
Nice.
That's a 200. That's 2 infinity
So we
%.
get taxed too.
That's like an infinity raise, dude.
Oh.
No taxes. There's no W-2 forms out here.
So I'm curious, since we're all kind of focused on art careers in some form or
Creative.
yeah,
endeavors.
some creative way, what do you think led us to this pursuit and like realization growing up?
Oh. All right. So growing up, my parents were all cool and all. They raised me right. But what really taught me the socialness of it all was through TV. And I would see like, oh, on Disney Channel, oh, these people interact a certain way. They're enjoyable to watch. This is how people should react.
You were
to things.
analyzing.
Yeah, I was analyzing the psychology of like body language and all that through films and TV.
Right.
I was like, okay, that works.
So that's your study of people. Is like
Yeah,
almost
and as
through
I would test that, I was like, okay, this works. And through the years of like watching more mature stuff, I learned like valuable lessons through like the tones of the films.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So art as an avenue for growth.
Yeah, I think
personal
entertainment as a whole really, especially now, it says a lot about the human nature.
growth. Right. And that's a type of mentality. To me, that's like having like a moral concern for the kind of content in culture.
Yeah.
Or it's like, sorry, of course I'm thinking of Louis C.K. But
Rest in
so
peace.
Don't
the way-
apologize.
No, you're right.
No, Louis C.K. is a great
Hot
comedian.
topic, great
It's
comedian.
controversial, but what he did and like still does,
Mhm.
like I really liked his show. It spoke a lot about living life as a comic and
Yeah.
brought a lot of light into like how the industry kind of is screwed up in a way.
Right. And well, not only that stuff too, but so he didn't go to college. Even though his parents were like MIT, they were like great colleges they went to. But he never went to college, and from that, like, he felt he had this like, and he's talked about it, this is how I know, this inferiority complex about like his understanding and his worth and his like education, even though he's clearly like pretty smart and like his like great foundational tools for succeeding in comedy and a lot of stuff. So how he learned was through media and through culture.
Yeah.
Right. That's where he got his education. And so you seek out meaningful art because he's like trying to learn about people and himself. And that's what good art does. It helps you grow and learn.
Yeah, art really says a lot about our world.
Right.
Like, don't like.
There's a lot of trash. There's a lot of trash.
Yeah.
To throw away.
Don't let anybody ever tell you like art doesn't matter or any of that, because it does. Even music, like
a meaningful, authentic voice, or like someone that's trying to help you understand something, or someone. My favorite kind of art is someone who's, and it's mostly in writing. This is where I see it mostly because it's the least like rhetoricized fiction. It's where someone's trying to understand something, or they're battling through like some problem, some social or philosophical problem.
That relatability is really strong.
Exactly. And it's the strongest for me when they are actively struggling with it and they're using writing to get through it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you go right into the pit with them. You go right into
it's that goosebump moment where you realize I'm kind of like that character.
It takes you there.
It takes you there.
And that could be anything, like music, film,
totally.
writing. And that's why I think art really just covers a lot of what we can connect to, like whatever medium it is.
Right. It breaks the barrier of the solipsistic loneliness.
I always say that art is like the universal language. Just how people say music is. Well, music is art.
Yeah. Right. Music's the most emotional form.
Yeah.
I think that's true.
And I think that's why growing up, what really got me into art was like unconsciously was playing video games and just seeing the storytelling through the games I was playing and like the art design. Because growing up, I actually wanted to be a game designer. And if not a game designer, like at least a graphic designer for like a video game company. And of course that kind of like diverged to like a different path because I hate coding.
and also like the tediousness of
I just suck.
Yeah.
And I can't just
get better.
But it's
a type of style that's not yours.
And that passion still stayed with me, just in a different way. And from what that was created as a gamer was now like, hey, where can I put those elements of game design into? Now it's like filmmaking. Now it's into like pumping out like content creation.
Well, it's like the grind comes from, for me, it was because I tried to make animations as a kid. I cared about animations, and that, like, I mean, they're horrible. But
were you on that Newgrounds?
No, I was on, it was actually like a mini clips animation software that it got really popular for like a second. And then it got like very media sized. But I worked so hard, like, it built up a work ethic in me and an expectation that, like, when I'm trying to do some kind of art, or even doing art in high school, it was like, this shit is so beyond me, and I'm just trying to trudge at the like the footsteps of it to get. And I'm not getting anywhere near it, but I'm like working very hard and diligently. And now when you do like and I imagine that's true with you, like you have something where there's a fundamental high bar work ethic, and now you can, because of that work ethic, you can do these other things more effectively than someone who hasn't fostered critical intensity for their creative endeavors.
It's through those breadcrumbs you really like find yourself.
Yeah. Definitely.
Does that answer your question, Sean?
Yeah. Like I feel like that gives us a good background on like how we
became who we are.
Yeah. Because we're all like the same age, right?
Yeah.
96?
97. But January.
Okay.
January. You were late 96, I'm early 97.
What you are?
I'm a virgin.
I
meant Virgo.
How old are you? I'm a virgin.
I meant to say Virgo.
Well, I know we talk about this a lot, especially in our other podcast, Midnight Lantern podcast, link down below.
Please see the description.
Where we talk about gaming and how gaming has kind of influenced our lives. But I kind of want to shed a little bit on it, not too much, about how gaming,
how it influences our creative process.
Yeah, like how gaming.
For me, it's like it didn't close any doors to any artistic avenue.
This is it.
Right. Because it involves everything. It can do anything.
Yeah, it's a film, and then
It can be
art,
film,
like actual art.
You can choose to not make it. You can choose to make it 2D. You can choose to make it more art based. You can have it 3D. It can be more cinema or film based. And there's music. All these themes.
Yeah.
And it's interactive.
You can do puzzles. You can do choose your own adventure.
I mean, I'm in love with the literally. I'm glad I'm working trying to do game design because it is super fulfilling. Because it's analytic with the code, but it's also very emotionally driven with the narrative and art, and it's like technical and in numerous ways. It's great. It's total fulfillment.
Oh my god.
The absolute fulfillment of every person. Everyone should make games. What are you doing?
Everybody make games and everybody play games. What I wanted to shed light upon was how growing up we would play games, but not just play them like passively. We always saw that there's like more to it, and we would actually like we would pretty much be making content from these games, and not even like thinking like, oh, I could make money off of this, or I could pursue this as a career. Is more of just to express what we were doing in that game genuinely and authentically, and we would like make videos about the games we were playing. Yeah, I know you had a Minecraft channel, right?
Yeah. Talking about that?
No. But like, just like you had a Minecraft channel, I would like stream back in like 2012.
Early streaming, yeah.
Yeah, like RuneScape, League of Legends.
It was early.
Guild Wars, and
Dungeoneering.
I would always I think growing up, I always had this mindset of like, it was like a hobby back then of like just making videos. Me and my brother, we would just like make these really terrible skit videos because YouTube was kind of pretty new back then, and so we were like, yo, like literally anyone can post on YouTube.
We grew up prime.
So like we would just make videos, and I remember like recording videos. Me and my brother, I would be on, was it Movie Maker, and like, yo, I'm so good at this, like, but just being on the computer and like editing was really where I was like, oh dude, like this was it was fulfilling for me, and like I didn't even realize it because I was a kid. I was just, to me it was just fun, you know. But like looking back, I'm like, okay, like that's the origin story of like everything builds up to my passions now, like those building blocks, and that set me on this path to become what I hopefully will become, like pretty much like an artist and like a creator, and just like trying my best to put my content out there. Yeah.
So if that was a movie, that would be your origin story.
Yeah. What's your
nice?
I guess you're what's your origin story, JC?
My origin story?
What's your supervillain origin story?
Are you a flawed protagonist?
Or an antagonist?
Yeah, every time I jack off, I tell myself that.
Man versus man.
We're cutting that. Man versus man, bro. Sorry, now my supervillain origin story. So I mean, the way I look at it a little bit is like, I remember as a kid, I played a lot of sports, and a lot of people were wondering why I don't pursue sports.
Like me, I was definitely asking me like, bro, this guy is the best football player in our class.
Really?
And this guy just plays Minecraft.
I like Minecraft, dude.
No, that's true though.
Okay, so
I respect it.
Because I knew I wanted to do art. I was like, and it's actually weird because I've thought about this and I've realized it. I'm like, everyone like I was like, people were like, why don't I do sports? But I didn't want to do sports. I wanted to do art. And then I've told this to like girls and look at me like, are you saying you peaked in high school? Like, why are you even telling me this?
I mean, we kind of did.
And I'm like, yeah.
I peaked in middle school.
Not yet. No, not yet. You got time. But then it's like, but I realized like I feel very detached from it. Like I don't know, like when y'all say, oh, you're good at football, I never really knew, because when I was a kid, there were things that I genuinely like. I didn't care. I didn't think about what it meant to other people. Especially like video games. My mom wouldn't let me play video games, and video games were like the most mystical, profound thing to me. This like greater world, this like thing I don't know even how it exists. I don't know how it works at all. And like I remember playing NFL Blitz. I remember playing all these games, but I'd go to all my friends' houses. My mom wouldn't let me have any M games. It was like restricted. It was like the sacred thing that was outside of my reach. And then I started playing games. There's something that transitions.
Thank you to our Patreon supporters and all our sponsors.
Listing them. It was
in high school or in
I just had a super high admiration for them. And like that just bred into like this like super unique perspective on them where I'm like, this is special. And then the other thing I worshipped was football. I would watch the old like the Tampa Bay Bucks when they won the Super Bowl. That was when I was really young.
Oh, throwback.
Yeah, 2002.
Jesus.
Yeah, when I was really young. And then we had the NFL. They made a documentary video about the Bucks, but it was super glorified. Like the music was so amazing, and I didn't know where this music came from. It was like when I was a kid and they played "Remember the Name" once, like 10% luck, and I was like,
So the
no,
documentary.
Yeah. But it was like shit like that where it's like, and then I didn't know how to access it, and I didn't know how to use it. My parents weren't really privy. I occasionally would get like a PS2. I'd be like, this is crazy. It was just because it was such a special thing. It'd always been a special thing that I was never really allowed to like just have.
Right. It was always someone else's. Like your parents were like the gateway,
protective.
the
Yeah,
gatekeepers
right.
of like the gaming.
And even when I had games, I could only play for an X amount of time, like 30 minutes.
Definitely.
So every time, like, it was the right. I mean, it just made me really like them and be really curious about them.
But then we got into PC gaming.
Oh, man, where was I going? No. Because what were we saying before about how it defines my creative process?
Yeah, or just in general, like how it's impacted, how it's like paved the way for your artistic like vision and like direction. Because I know you wanted to get into game design. You're also quite a phenomenal artist when it comes to like writing, like in general, like you know your poetry, your projects that you had for your senior project, like dude, like that shit was fire, bro. Like
no,
even just like the art installations you did.
The installations were fun.
Like, you know, not everyone has that kind of vision, and so
that was so weird about that is like I used every just like Gary's Mod trick to do like these 3D projections. Everyone was just like, "This is incredible." They were very amazed, but it was like I felt like a fraud.
That's what the crazy thing is. Like we grew
up around this.
Yeah. So
culture.
we have this tendency to do what's natural for us, not knowing that that's literally our vision of the world, our artistic vision, our decisions that we make aren't common knowledge to everyone else. And it's crazy because like not everyone else would know like how to do that.
Right.
And that's why like when I was doing all my art projects, it was literally like, oh, I'm just gonna collect a bunch of CRTs. And like, where did that get influence from? Melee. Like, I'm literally just playing Melee on GameCubes. I'm like, yeah, I like the way all the CRTs look. And then I made like a video, an art installation, and it just had like a bunch of CRTs, and I made like this weird video with Japanese in it, and like it's all just like influences from what I'm interested in.
All the places you've been, all the cultures, little mini semi-cultures you've been.
And so like that's why it's just crazy to think about how I'm able to express that through art. And it's like a little bit of everything in my life, and then just like sprinkled into like one art project.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, yeah, and it's like it's exactly like that. I mean, because it's like you get everything from everything, and that's like video games. It's like it involves. That's what I'm talking about. It involves every art form. It doesn't block any barriers.
Yeah.
So when you're going through, you know, you're picking up everything. It's like everything contributes to this.
We just speak gaming, man.
Yeah.
That's why all the content I want to make is just. Gaming. I want to make a RuneScape documentary. all my cinematic series are just gonna be on RuneScape.
Bro, you should do like free to play narratives. You should.
I don't know how many times I've thought about that. Like I literally like, bro, everyone's doing Iron Man.
Write down your ideas.
And I'm like, bro, what if I don't know if I'm like funny enough to be like, oh, hey guys, it's my free to play Ultimate Iron Man.
Dude, if you're
today
not
I chopped like it's so boring though. Like free to play Iron Man is so boring.
Just edit it.
But anyways, if you want to hear more about our gaming tangents, check out Midnight Lantern.
Check out Midnight Lantern. Before I gotta say, like, it's obviously like it's like you could be making fun of how there's like nothing to do as a free to play, and you're just like the bit could be you're trying to make content where there's none.
Oh yeah, this is content, boys.
No, yeah. Or just talking about like, and that was actually really hard. I just clicked the tree a couple of times, just like shit like that, where you're like ironic.
It's crazy.
Self-aware irony. You could go far with that.
Yeah, man.
I might write a script
Look at
and
us
send it to you.
Playing 15-year-old games still.
I love them. That's okay. Here's what's interesting though.
Wait, save it for Midnight Lantern podcast.
Shit. You're right.
Save it for the podcast, just not this one.
You briefly touched upon your high school experience. What kind of man were you in high school?
Oh my god, I hate you.
High school stories.
All right, you want to get real?
Yeah. What kind of subset group did you?
Well, I want to hear Christian's high school experience.
I want to hear yours.
Yeah, let's hear it
first, and then you can keep that question though.
Me and JC went to the same high school, so this will be like a new perspective on you. All right,
okay,
Christian, I think you were Honestly, I don't know. I don't want to like make.
No. Make all the assumptions.
Okay, I think.
I want to see how.
Well, wait. You went to Freedom, right?
I went to Tampa Bay Tech in 9th grade, and then 10th through 12th was Freedom High School.
Freedom. I'd say you were into like. You were probably still into movies because your background knowledge and just backhand knowledge. I said knowledge twice. your your wisdom and knowledge about filming is just insane. Like you just know names like the back of your hand, and to me that's just so foreign. So I think in high school you're really into film culture. You know, you knew all the directors and stuff like that. So you had like this group that you'd probably were also into the same things. Maybe like I'm imagining like people who were into like Star Wars, but at the same time, wait, did you play any musical instruments?
In middle school, I did the violin.
I did the violin too. In high school, though.
Violin bros.
Bro, represent, dude. We understand each other better than anyone else understands
Sean,
us.
get out of here.
Sean,
I'd
you don't
say
know us.
console gamer for sure. I know you don't play PC games, so you're into a lot of superhero culture. So
that's where it was at its peak because Avengers came out in 2012 and I was in high school.
That was high school, yeah. So I'd say I don't know, like
Did you think
also I can't make these assumptions because I never know. I don't know what a public school is like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I went to private school in my life.
Yeah.
So I can't even know what kind of group you're in because I don't know the groups.
I don't understand those cliques necessarily. Was it big? Were they big schools?
All right, so the
Wait,
way
I gotta guess.
One more thing.
Were they big schools? Yeah, one more thing. I'm
You
not
went
done
to-
guessing.
Yeah, you went to Freedom.
Yeah, it was
Is that-
relatively
how big is that?
It wasn't that big. It was
Pretty
just,
free.
you know.
Damn.
Yeah. There's DOMs.
So you were a free man. There was doms. So you were definitely a sub.
Oh,
I'm gonna say. So Sean gave his characterization.
Yeah.
I think quieter. To be honest, quieter. Maybe sat alone at lunch occasionally.
that's savage, bro.
Is that savage?
It's a
I
big
sat
high
alone at
school,
lunch
right?
sometimes.
Yeah, but we went to a small school, bro.
Dang, you're right.
Wait, you didn't even hear my
I didn't hear what
First
you
cut is the
said.
deepest.
I still think okay, maybe not alone then, but like didn't always talk at lunch, and then but always had like an active mind about things.
I'd say you were probably more reserved in high school, but you really were talkative and opened up with like 2 or 3 friends in your group where you guys had shared the same interests in, like you said, movies, superheroes, and like
But you're not like
gaming.
you're not like a small like puny like you didn't get bullied. I don't think.
You want me to answer it?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
But honestly, like
I don't think you got bullied.
I don't know what
physically.
public school is like, so this
How
is
would you get bullied physically if you can just brute them?
I'm shooting in the dark here.
Yeah.
Just tell us.
No one bullied me in high school actually, and I was pretty quiet, and everyone
That's
somehow
'cause-
everyone respected.
No, we
that.
did bully you.
Well, I mean socially,
No.
not physically.
Hey,
though.
bullying is no joke.
Bullying's not a joke. Quit
Shout out
yourself,
to all the
bullying.
bullies.
Shout out to Matt.
Shout out to Matt. Matt, don't bully us in this edit.
In
So you're
high
about our age.
school, I was reserved. I did not get bullied. I wasn't popular, but everyone knew me.
Ah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like nobody wanted to mess with me, and everyone wanted to
We're
make sure
curious.
nobody would mess with me
Right.
because they all knew me. Because I grew up with these people from elementary. And
But
so
did
they
you
knew
move
me.
to a different high school?
Yeah, but they
Yeah,
take to
I went to
Freedom.
Tech, but I didn't know anyone there, so I moved to Freedom, and that's where everyone was like, "Hey, it's you."
Yeah.
So I knew all these people growing up.
From middle school and elementary school?
Uh huh.
Okay.
So they're all like, "We gotta protect this guy. He's you know."
I see. Do you still know them?
I
Are those
do
your
know
friends,
that.
your current friends?
The current friends I have, the clique I hang out with, they're not from my era of that. I just obtained them from various
Through your methods.
entries,
I see.
resumes.
Various securities. that
Yeah,
were made.
like I have with you two.
I see.
Gang.
Gang. But yeah, no one really bullied me or anything. But I didn't really
Fair
belong
point.
in a clique.
Yeah.
There was the jocks and whatever, and the goth kids and scene kids.
Yeah.
I didn't really belong with one. And the group I did have didn't really have a category. They were just people that I found cool. And yeah, that's in high school is really where I obtained, because I liked film before, but that's where I really started to gain knowledge of
Started
film.
getting film.
It all started with my 9th grade teacher who started talking about like camera angles
tech.
and like
Right.
and like the symbolism of
Yeah.
Indiana Jones.
That reminds me of Matt, actually.
And so I just started like,
Shouts out to
oh,
Matt.
Shout out to our editor.
shout out to Matt. I wondered like, oh, what other good movies are there that have overlooked in like symbolism and all that.
Right.
So that really started with like in 2010 was a good year for that. So I saw King's Speech and Social Network, and Toy Story 3.
A
and
lot
I was
of
like,
Wait,
oh,
Toy Story 3 is 2010.
yes,
Holy
sir.
shit!
And Toy Story 4 is 2019
Yes,
I haven't seen that one,
he dies in that.
bro.
again.
Porky?
Porky, bro.
Is that his name?
Yeah,
Ah,
he's trash. Dude.
nailed it. Yeah, he's actually just trash.
He's actually trash.
Well,
Anyways,
yeah, that's where my passion for the arts came in. Was ninth grade. So I didn't really have anyone to talk to about that until like I met some other people in my life.
Okay, so through film primarily.
Yeah. So
What do you think you're gonna do with your life other than that?
oh yeah, I'm curious.
Like
what?
what did you have any ideas of like what you liked or like what your plans were?
For me, it was game design, computer science,
Yeah,
and then I was like,
on computer science.
and then that fell through, and I was like, I'm gonna be a priest.
Yeah, why computer science fell through? Because high school?
Yeah, I took a
Oof.
computer science class. I'm like,
You didn't like it?
this is not for me.
Are you
And then I'm like
serious?
graphic design. Then I'm like, man, that's like,
Dang.
I was doing digital art in art
Yeah.
class.
I took when I took computer science, I was like, I like this.
Yeah,
It worked with me. It
And
was all
then-
HTML.
and then the priesthood thing fell through. So then I was just going to college just for the hell of it.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, it's because you don't remember high school.
Yeah, I don't. How'd you know that?
Because you literally said it 5 minutes ago.
Did I? Wow.
Wow, you blacked out again,
Again, I'm not remembering anything. Did I say I don't remember high school at all?
dude. It's 2021.
What the?
Where you been?
That's crazy.
Anyways.
I liked high school.
Wait, so what were you? What were you planning to do?
Well, when I liked film, I was like, okay, I like it, but I don't know if I can go into a career into it.
Yeah.
But through high school, I realized I'm not as smart as I thought I was.
Why?
Same. I peaked in middle school.
Why?
I don't know. It's just those things where you realistically look at yourself. You're like, okay, I thought I was the smartest guy in the room. I'm not. And that's
just
not.
like
That's
bigger-
not a problem.
Bigger
Oh.
pond, kind of.
Okay, but that's more like an ego thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
True.
because I was like, oh, I want to be this architect, but then
Architecture.
I want to do architecture so bad. I forgot
I
about
even
that.
took a class.
I forgot.
I remember. Yeah, you actually wanted to be an architect.
did.
And I wanted to be an English major. I remember.
Dude.
That was back when we were in creative writing
Bro, it
class.
was. You
Bro,
were
you
making
s-
so much memory, dude, and that's why I did so much Minecraft. We did Minecraft
Yeah,
creative
you guys
stuff.
built so much shit on Minecraft,
That's I made me want to be an architect really bad.
and I wrote so much creatively.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so I feel like everyone's like career options changed
Yeah.
throughout their lives. No one really had a
Right.
set.
Well, what made you not want to do architecture?
Well, I realized I'm bad at math.
Oh, I mean, architecture's not too much, I don't think.
For me, it wasn't, and then just like within the past 2 years, I really started to like math.
I remember the one teacher that hated me.
Palazzo.
No, she liked me a lot. I got an A in her
Yo,
class.
shout out to Colazzo.
No, yeah, she thought I was cute.
Jesus Christ. man.
Kidding. Kidding, she didn't.
Anyways,
She thought I was nice because I wasn't very aggressive. I was also very
I thought you didn't remember high
inactive.
school.
Well, I
just
remember
kidding.
that. I
I'm just
remember
kidding.
certain things, but it's just like a blip of that class. It
Blip.
was the one that where she
Blip?
would.
Sorry, I recently watched your podcast about Spider-Man.
What?
The blip. The blip. Come on, bro.
Oh.
Because they'll come back from high school and then fuck
The
Chad.
Oh, right.
Fuck
I did
Chad.
see that.
Yeah, that Asian guy.
Now we're overlapping content.
Come on, dude.
Yo, shout out to my podcast.
Is there a name?
Ours has a unique lore.
There you go.
Overlapping content creators. Give me a high five. Audible for the mic.
Okay, wait, Sean, you talk about your high school experience then. Like, what do you want to be? Okay,
Wait,
boom,
yes,
please.
tell me all about how private school works.
Okay, so I went to an all-boys school.
All male high school. Me and Sean went to the same high school.
Yeah. A lot of cuties.
A lot of dolls.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
We came to find out that the gay community was actually quite active in the underground.
Oh, I would imagine.
JC didn't know, but
I had no idea.
You didn't even know you were in it.
I I got touched multiple times. No,
jeez.
I did not.
But for my,
That's not true. Don't
I
worry.
guess like my high school experience was so different. How I would be living life now, because I was so focused on not school. I was so
Same.
focused on like the ministries that I was in religiously, and so I was like a leader in and outside of the school, and so like that
Oh
was like,
right.
so that took up that took up most of my time outside of like what I was passionate about, like gaming and stuff, and like I did track all 4 years, and so
You were pretty active.
I was pretty active in my high school, but I wouldn't say like super active where I was like going to like events and stuff.
Yeah.
I just
I actively
I didn't even go to my prom.
Yeah, I didn't go to my prom either.
I avoided all dances as much as I could.
Yeah, that was that.
Great story about that.
I'd say my high school experience overall was pretty much. I don't even know if it was like normal. I don't think it was normal. I'd say it's very small and very quiet and like I made friends for high school. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say lifelong friends like how they sell it to you at Jesuit. But definitely it was more of like, okay, like I'm here and I'm kind of involved and like I'm like enjoying it. It didn't really feel like academics. I was way more focused on other things
And
because
that
I was like a
side
leader and like doing
thing.
other things as just like the community.
Dang.
It was really community heavy, which we always talk about.
Dude, that perspective is one I just don't have at all.
Yeah.
Being a leader in anything. Just not at all.
I'm sorry.
And that's why it's like, oh, you kind of understand communities better. Because you know it from a top-down angle.
Yeah, exactly. It's all just corruption. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding.
When you were in power.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much my high school experience, just being a leader in and out of the community inside of school and religiously out of school. And then when I would play games, I was playing Guild Wars 2 a lot. And even that, even
You would start discouraging.
even in the games,
You
like
were a
I was a
guild
leader.
leader.
Like I was literally just trying to be a leader, and I think it's because that was like naturally what I
I've been doing.
it's naturally what I tend to do. And I don't even like I'm not even aware of like, oh, I'm gonna be a guild leader. I'm just like, hey guys, you guys want to play? Like we
Yeah.
can start like a group. And then
Even like for the podcast, I'm like, I would never do this on my own. I would
Oh,
never
yeah, that's
start this up.
and then it wasn't until like after high school where things took a turn in terms of like character development, and Act 1 began in my movie. And everything before college, it's all just like fan fiction, fan fiction origin story
It was
for
the
my life.
primordial buildup.
Because everything's so different, like how I perceived life. You can say like, oh, what did you want to be when you were in high school or in like elementary school? Like what I wanted to be like was just so like fantasy, fake, because I didn't know anything. It just didn't feel tangible when I'd say it. I was just giving them answers they wanted to hear.
You can tie this into the themes we talk about with fantasy and documentary in one of our other podcasts. It's
Wow,
called
you remember that?
yeah, because that's more of my dialogue about you, Sean.
Oh yeah.
And Christian.
Yeah.
I have ongoing notes about your internal psycho. No,
Oh,
I don't at all,
no, sure.
But yeah, and I think
but I will.
And so I think it wasn't until like junior year and like senior year where I started to focus more on like creativity. I took art class instead of music. We had the either or, which is really dumb by the way, because I wanted to do both.
Yeah.
And
Why
the
did
fact
they
that
do
the
that?
high school system, at least at our high school,
Limited us?
yeah,
I know.
that's pretty lame. And I was just like, I'm so
Damn.
broken.
Totally blame.
So I did art, and
You
that's
know
when
how
that's when I got really into digital art, and that's when I was like, whoa, I can actually do this, because I was already doing it on my own at home, which is why I'm like, I get to do this for class and I do it at home, and so it's so easy to just like create content digitally.
Your Photoshop abilities are very far beyond mine.
Wow, thank you.
I
Because
never
like
do
to me,
that.
it's like this is so easy. It's
Yeah.
literally paint.
It's just like what you do.
This is what I was talking about earlier, where it comes naturally to
The
me.
unconscious.
Yeah, the unconscious like vision
This
and
is what you're
decisions I
doing.
make.
Yeah.
Someone just doesn't even know.
Right. Which I never did, to be honest. I never did Photoshop really that much. I always
Yeah.
saw it as this other thing.
Yeah.
This
So
thing.
on Photoshop, I would early days, maybe like middle school, I would Photoshop like Nike shoes. Like
Yeah.
there's like a template. I'd do like different colorways and add like little logos. I even added like a lot of RuneScape.
Highly
Anyways.
respectable trade.
Okay, but then in high school I started doing shirt designs, and I like sold shirts for a little bit. But yeah, that's when I got into like digital art. And then when I started getting more into film is when I watched the Smash documentary. And that was my first experience of like documentary style
Oh,
about like something that isn't like worldly. It was very niche. And that was my
and
first
personal to you.
and yeah, and that's when I started to realize that was like my first step into like a niche community. I was like, whoa, like there's something here that like, you know, it was like something obtainable, and like, wow, these normal people just did something, created something.
Right.
Like I can do that too.
Right.
And so yeah.
Nice.
Niche communities are so interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, oh, there's this faucet of people that are so into this one thing that I was just under the rock about.
Yeah.
So like my mentality in high school was like, I was a witness to everything going on, and I knew like a lot of people will be like, let's forget about high school,
Right.
but I didn't want to forget about it. I wanted to just remember and soak it all in. And I always had that mentality of like, I hope you guys do the best and like
Right.
whatever.
We're
And
making memories.
Yeah. And it is what you make of it. So I was like, I wonder what these people will be like when they grow up. And they're basically all the same now.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Nice. That's what I hear most about me. Most people say I'm still the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much our background stories as artists, and now we're out here just trying to put it all out in 2020.
That's right. 2020. That's true.
I
2020.
don't want to
vision.
hear it. That's probably been said so many times. Yeah, cut that, please.
Yeah. No, Matt, please.
Please. Shout out to
Sorry,
Matt.
Sorry, Matt.
Yeah, any other like words, concluding thoughts that you have about just the topics that we've discussed today?
I mean, very interesting. I think that at least we know each other better.
Yeah.
And anyone who
Group
listens
therapy.
is probably going to
Yeah.
know. This is
Group
great group
therapy.
therapy. And it's interesting because you can reflect on it and listen to it again.
Yeah, that is true.
Overall, don't let fear control you. You're afraid of fear, you're just afraid of fear itself.
There you go. And that's failure.
It's like Kennedy said,
Kennedy.
the only thing to fear
Oh, John F.
is JC.
Yeah, you should fear me.
There's a scene in the
I'm coming for you.
there's a scene in the documentary I'm editing, and they talk about how we shouldn't make decisions out of fear,
Yes.
and those decisions that are made out of fear are normally not the right ones,
Right.
not the best decisions to
Not
make.
optimal.
Yeah, but
It's
and
the
so
buzzword.
like I think going forward, yeah, like that's the best thing we can do is just like try not to let fear control our decisions and our life. Overcome that fear.
From the fear. Amen, brothers.
Don't be afraid to fail.
Do not betray.
And
your
in some
conscience.
cases, like, yeah, don't betray your conscience. It's like seek out failure sometimes.
Yeah, that's why
Don't try
we're
to
doing.
fail.
That's why we're doing this podcast. We're
Yeah.
seeking out failure.
Give a little bit.
Yeah,
Go skydiving.
Or just being open to failure. Like,
Yes.
don't try to fail something. Just try to do something where there's a higher chance.
Don't
it'll
be
fail.
afraid to sound stupid.
Don't be afraid. Yeah.
Yeah. So what? Your first song sucks.
Yeah.
Keep doing it.
Be honest. If you don't know something, people probably don't know it.
most artists always talk about like your first whatever is gonna suck,
It's gonna suck.
and that's why being afraid to actually finish something and create something is pointless. Because of course it's gonna suck. You just gotta like get through all of
You
that.
see it through.
If you're gonna fail like 50 times and then you finally like have like that success,
Yeah.
you should be excited and more ready to fail because
Definitely.
you know you're gonna have that.
You know
one.
you can defeat like anything.
Yeah. Unless you just suck and you just
Yeah,
fail.
yeah. Unless you're one of those
Yeah, I'm
people. I'm sorry, dude.
I wouldn't know. I'm an only child, so I was the first one.
You're the
so,
first.
Yeah, I'm perfect.
He's always the first and always
the
the
perfect
last.
So you
child.
didn't have to try again after me.
He was too perfect.
But yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, yeah, that's quite inspiring. And I mean, your content you have already from the 2 years ago and 3 years ago.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the fact that you weren't afraid to post that is inspiring
yeah.
me to like just post.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Like everyone will make cringy stuff throughout their lives.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean,
It's part of
JC's got a
humanity.
Minecraft
I have a
channel.
Minecraft channel
It's
with
still up, by the way.
300 subscribers, mind you.
At
Wow.
77 Seminoles one.
No, please. Matt, you fucking drop that.
We'll censor it. I'm pretty sure I have a video on your channel, and I give a tour of my house.
Yeah. We did. We collaborated with
Yeah.
people.
Dude,
Austin,
we were literally just content creators
We
back
were.
then. We just weren't good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were kids. What do you want?
Yeah, I mean, what do you expect from a 11-year-old?
Children, dude.
Yeah.
But now, the power is ours.
The power of the internet.
All this being said, I'm not afraid anymore. Let's make a movie, guys.
We're making
Yes.
a movie.
Let's make an actual film.
2020 film is gonna be. made.
I'm thinking bigger than that. I'm making a whole studio.
Actually, we should talk to Matt about it because Matt's been wanting to make films a lot. Actually.
Oh yeah, I like Matt. He's good looking. He's a great actor.
For the next 5
Yeah,
minutes,
he's a
let's
good-looking
talk about-
man.
let's
Can't
talk
say
about
that.
Matt.
The good looking comes first.
What do you mean? I mean, that's what you want on your camera. That's why I'm never on camera.
yeah.
I'm not good looking.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, everyone in between, this has been another episode of Save It for the Podcast. My name is Sean Barlan.
My name is Christian Gerald Tolentino. You can follow me at ChrisGT122 on Instagram.
And I'm JC Ryan. You can follow me at j.c._Ryan on Instagram.
And you can follow me at Sean J. Barlan on all social media platforms. This has been a great episode. Thank you, boys. And hit that like button, follow on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you find your podcast. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.
If you got this far, type in RuneScape.
Yeah, type RuneScape if you're here.
Goodbye.
I was here. And that's a wrap, boys.